Hey guys, welcome back to Rocket Kyan, my fellow space tubers. Here we are again. I can say this thing. Here we are again witnessing this beautiful liftoff of the Starship flight, which was unfortunately got scrubbed at the very last moment. The last day at T minus 1 second, there was a Raptor abort. SpaceX hasn't released anything yet for why did that happen, but yeah, they are now attempting it the second time. So how are you everyone, guys? Hi Celeb, hi Annalie, hi Dennis, good afternoon, hi Manat saying good night. Yes, it's good night here. And hi Simitro, if I'm not wrong, Simitro. So we are here a bit earlier so that we can have a Q&A with you guys and everything. We can have a look at and we can know what it is all about and everything. So right now we are seeing this. The SpaceX company is obviously the SpaceX is the company which will be attempting to launch the Starship today, and the Starship. First of all, before talking about Starship, if you don't know SpaceX, rocket company, Elon Musk, revolutionary. Connect all the dots and you get SpaceX as a company. So I don't need to talk much about SpaceX. You people all know about that. So we have hi Labrat, how are you? So now we can have a look at Starship. This will be a quick presentation, nothing much detailed as a previous one, because we can have a Q&A session after that. So okay, so Starship is a fully reusable two-stage rocket which they are planning, and the Starship today which we are referring to is this upper part, which means the upper stage, which means the second stage. And this is known as Starship, and the booster is known as Super Heavy, and the whole thing is also known as Starship. But today the upper section will be flying and perform a belly flop maneuver, and that will be so nice to see. So this here you can see it is having this blackish part behind this thing. Today we won't be having this blackish part, but what it is the heat shield. It is actually the heat shield, because this is a fully reusable rocket. So after reaching the orbit, when it will deorbit and then enter the atmosphere, so this heat shield will prevent the atmospheric effects to damage this rocket. Okay, so it has a payload capacity of 150 plus tons, 150 tons to low earth orbit, and 26 tons to, so 21 tons to geo transfer orbit. But that 21 tons increases to 150 tons to geo transfer orbit when we have an orbital refueling, which they have the plans. This is the Starship, and the height of this thing itself is 50 meters. Okay, the whole Falcon 9 stands at 70 meters, but the upper stage of this Starship is only it's itself 50 meters. So you can imagine the sign of this thing. So here we are. Then we have this 100 plus ton is the payload capacity, and then the Super Heavy. Obviously Super Heavy is the booster section of uh, the Starship. Launch will occur at 2:45 because we'll start at 2. Yes, you can say that, Manat Singh. I mean, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, there can be a delay. Yes, you are right. There could be some delay for that. Then we have this propellant capacity of 3,400 tons. So you can imagine, I mean, how huge this rocket will be. And it runs on methane and liquid oxygen. Why they have considered this methane? First of all, uh, this rocket has been made keeping in mind the Mars colonization, and on Mars we mostly have CH4 as in its atmosphere, abundance of CH4, and that's why we can harness that and make it as a rocket fuel. Okay, then the payload. So the payload has the two configuration here, we it has shown, but it will be finally be having four configuration: the cruise one and the cargo one. And the cargo one will not be having fairing, but is this uh, you can say alligator kind of opening mechanism in which the mouth will open and then the satellite will be deployed in space. This won't be like this. The deployment, the fitting of the satellite will be vertical, but the deployment will be like in a tilt position. Okay, so this will be like that. The four configuration will be the cargo version, the crew version, the lunar version, and the deep space version. And also there is one more version of the Starship, that is the intraplanetary version, which will be, you can say, flying from one point to the another on the earth itself, so it will be a super fast flight. Okay, then yeah, Starship uses the satellite, the international uses space station for docking, and if it is able to do that, the docking to the international space station, the cargo capacity which it can take to the international space station will be tremendous, and hence more science could be possible with this vehicle. Then the moon mission, the lunar version of Starship, and then the interplanetary transport and the intraplanetary transport too. Okay, so that is the thing. Landing on Mars, I don't think so we can have that. So yeah, the Raptor engine. So the Raptor engine runs on full flow stage combustion cycle. It runs on methane and the liquid oxygen as its fuel. And I don't know why the today the reach of this thing is very less. I don't know why. Many less people are watching this stream. So yeah, the thrust, it will be having a thrust of 2 mega newtons. And for what I mean by full flow stage combustion cycle, well, the full flow stage combustion cycle only means that it won't be having a this gas generator cycle, which means it won't be having an open cycle. There won't be a mini rocket engine giving exhaust which is not producing any particular thrust. So there is no wastage of fuel, and the efficiency of this engine increases to 98 to 99%. That's what Elon says. Yeah, and this guy here will be the first person to fly on the lunar version of Starship, which is aiming to be developed and launched in 2023 with the project of Dear Moon project. And he is Yusaku Maezawa, which he's the Japanese billionaire, and he has invested that is the rumors that he has invested some fundings during the Starship development. And this is how it looks like. The three Raptor engines today, the three Raptor engines will be flying on the Starship, and this is how it looks like beneath the rocket. uh, I mean, wow. The Star Hopper, this is where it started. You can say their vision to make this rocket started. The Star Hopper, then we have the Mark 1, Mark 2, then we have the artistic renders, obviously. The most interesting of all of them was this one, like a concert on board Starship. That would be so cool to have, right? Okay. So that's pretty much it. Hi, Kenan Lucas. How are you? Cheers from Chill. Um, okay, thank you so much. Now we can have a look at what is happening there. Okay, here we go. We are around T minus 34 minutes from the launch, and you can see here that the flaps have been extended. The farm is venting. As we saw the SN8 also venting a bit earlier. So everything is looking good, and yeah, let's hope this is a total success now. Okay, just a sec. Okay, do we have anything else which we can have a look at? I don't know why the reach of this thing is so less today. I mean, the viewers are so less today and not interested. I don't think so. The thing is from interesting, but YouTube has messed up something. I don't know why. Do we have any official confirmation of anything? Nah. Till now, no. And yeah. So if you have any questions, you can truly and mostly welcome to ask any questions you have, and I'll try to answer them. Hi Blues Traveler, hello from Colorado, and he says took day from the work yesterday, and it wasn't a good thing, right? I mean, the thing is that it was standing on the launch pad without any problem. That was the best thing which happened, and yeah, I'm pretty looking forward to today's launch attempt, and hopefully it is a good one. Okay. SN8 full of fuel. Well, the SN8 is right now being fueled. It is not full of fuel. Uh, the propellant loading, I think, it's not started yet because we can't see the uh, those frosty thing appearing on the rocket. So let's hope everything goes according to the plan now. We are around T minus 30 minutes from the launch to happen. Today I think this is looking really cool. I think we will be seeing the launch properly now. Yes, Roger, SpaceX stream will, you will find that here only, so don't worry about that. SpaceX will be streaming it today and I'll have that pulled up for you, don't worry with that. Will be at 100% full at takeoff. No, Blues Traveler, this is just they won't be requiring 100% fuel for this launch because obviously that is not what they are doing. It's just a test flight for everything they need to test, and that's why it won't be a fully fueled rocket. It will be fueled obviously, but at in that quantity only in which they require to test and require to like for a 12.5 kilometer hop. Okay. And so this is the views which you are right now seeing are the views from the live views of this SN8, and as you can see it is venting a bit now. Is there any test payload or just the fuel weight? Yes, Roger, we don't have any test payload for today. It's just the fuel weight which is there, and because they are testing it, it is not even going to space. It's just a 12.5 kilometer hop and it's just a 12.5 kilometer hop. Then also people are so excited because people have followed the development process of this rocket, and this rocket itself is very revolutionary in its um, time, because it's a, first of all, it's a very super heavy lift vehicle, and it's a fully reusable vehicle, and it is having engines which I can proudly say that it is a king of rocket engines. And yes, so will the flight path be in a smaller area above the launch pad? Yes, it will just go straight up, and then it will once it has reached the apogee of 12.5 kilometer, it will shut down the engine. It will shut down the engine before that, and it will just coast towards the apogee, and then all the maneuvering will be done by the flaps it is having, those air flaps, they will be doing the maneuvering part, and then afterwards when it is falling back down, it will perform a belly flop maneuver, which is like going from belly first to engines first. It's not like Falcon 9 why like it is when it is falling, it's just the engine first which is falling, and then the engines are reigniting for landing. It won't be like that for this Starship. There will be a belly flop maneuver because this rocket will be falling belly first, and then it will correct its motion and orientation by performing a belly flop. So that's what you will witness today, hopefully, and that's why it is so cool to see this thing. Okay, anything else do we have right now? Nothing, just the SN8 venting. I think the fuel loading also has not started because the frosting is not there, but yeah, let's hope everything goes correctly. And do we have any other updates? Guys, if you love what I do, you can always like this stream, subscribe, and share it this with your friend. This is a revolutionary thing which you will be witnessing. And if you want to support the channel, well, you can always become a Patreon or one-time funding. The super chat is always enabled, so you can do that. No, nothing as official or unofficial, something like that. Nothing is there till now. The fuel loading has not started yet. That's a thing which I am kinda worried about. You can say that. Let's hope everything goes correctly. Okay. Yes, that is the star hopper in front. So the engines will start 300 meters above the landing pad. You can say that. I mean, the trajectory, yes, 300 meters or something like that. Yeah, the engines will reignite at that time to perform the belly flop. And 100% fuel, no. So is that smaller SN4? No, it's the star hopper, which is this. Yes, they have the cameras on board as well as the cameras. You will get a better view once we are closer to the liftoff time. You will get a better view of everything. So don't worry about that. NASA, yes, one NASA aircraft will also be flying there to witness this thing and also to capture every aspect of this thing. So yeah, everything will be so cool to have. We have venting, which you can see here, the white part, or the tank farm activity which is going on there. uh, Ken Deford says, hey Rocket Beeps, I am watching the sky over my house for the NASA jet going from NASA Houston to Boca Chica. It is supposed to take off in about 30 minutes, I think. Okay, so uh, let's hope you can witness it and update us also about how it is going on there. And yeah, so Roger, the belly descent is very useful because there is a particular reason for that, why they have this belly first descent, because this is you the launch which you will be seeing is of the second stage. Okay, so it will be in orbit once everything is ready. The super heavy is also ready, the Starship as a whole is also ready, so it will go to the orbit and it's a fully reusable one. So that means after reaching orbit it will also have to come down, and at that point, during re-entry, atmospheric re-entry, it has to break itself, and when breaking itself it has to expose most of the surface area it has, so as to break more, because it is flying at an orbital speed at that time, and it has to bleed off most of the speed. So to bleed off most of the speed, so it will be just belly first entering, because the belly also has the heat shield attached, and after that first it will be just entering into the atmosphere, and the heat shield will be protecting the Starship, and after that, once it has reached the main part of the atmosphere, the thicker part of the atmosphere, the flaps which this thing is having, that will come into the picture, and it will reorient, or you can say take the spacecraft, the Starship, to its desired location to pinpoint its landing. And then when it's just above the landing zone, you can say the 300 meters or so, it will perform a belly flop. So belly flop will be done with cold gas thrusters as well as with the hot gas thrusters. Okay, so right now the thing has cold gas thrusters in it, and when Starship is fully complete it will be done with hot gas thrusters. So since it is right now having cold gas thruster, which is nitrogen, which you see in the Falcon 9 descent, those thrusters as well as the engine's gimbal will help this rocket align for the belly flop. Okay, that will be the thing. And once the hot gas thrusters are ready, then every that maneuver of flopping will only be done by the thrusters. No engines will be you can say allotted or ignited for that maneuver once the hot gas thrusters are there. And unique thing about that hot gas thrusters is that those hot gas thrusters, why does it called as hot, why is it in first place called as hot gas thruster? Because those thrusters are nothing but the bleeding valves of the pressurized fuel tank. Yes, there is nothing like nitrogen gas coming out of the rocket as in the Falcon 9 has. They have special compartment for nitrogen gas. This rocket won't be having that. Instead, what they will be doing is they will be having that fuel gas inside the tank, right? Those fuel gas will be used as thrusters. I mean that the fuel tank will be pressurized, right? So the pressure inside the fuel tank will be greater than the outside, so it will be used as the thrusters. Those pressurized fuel tank will be used as the thrusters. So that's what I mean to say. That means this thing totally is so advanced, and I can just talk about it for decades to come and I won't stop. So yeah, that's the thing. Belly flop is for draggiest thing. That's awesome. Thank you for informing. Thank you, Roger, for just sticking into the stream and witness this thing. How far above the ground will the engines restart? Okay, that is the thing. And shout out to Espadre for providing this stream. And yeah, they are doing a great work. Mr. Asper says space connecting people. Space connecting people. Space is actually a global thing, so you can say it is connecting countries to come. Can Merlin engines on Falcon 9 also gimbal? Yes, they can. No, they can gimbal for sure. I am excited for this thing, and we are very close to the liftoff time. And once the SpaceX actual stream is also up, I'll actually be showing it to you so you can have all those great views of actual onboard camera, the close-up view, and the mission control voice, everything. So yes, so if you don't know, if you are just joining in, so till now the SN8 is venting, and you can see the why do I say keep on saying tank? It is tank farm activity which is happening. And do we have any other thing, which is the Raptor chill is on? So yes, we can see the propellant is being loaded in this thing. So Raptor chill milestone is on, and let me just update it once. Where is this Raptor chill? Okay. Oops. Yeah. So Raptor chill is on. Raptor chill means that some part of fuel is being flown into the engine so as to make it ready for the ignition of this thing. Wow, this thing which you are right now seeing will be flying and performing a descent maneuver, which you haven't witnessed till now. And that's why there is only 33% chance of success for this thing, because I mean, yes, this thing has its this is the first time they are doing it, and many things can go wrong. Yes, this there is a timer, and I'll be switching over to that, don't worry. So thanks, Dan Jiang, for subscribing. That was a good joke, Manat Singh. Yes. Hi, Sean. Hi, creator. And did they give any reason for yesterday's scrub? They haven't, but at the time of actual abort, the mission control say that it was a Raptor abort. So there was something which was out of desired checklist, which was detected by the Raptors, and that's why it didn't come into full ignition. And at half of the ignition only, it's just stopped. That actually happened. Hi Benjamin. Hi Richter Schenker. Auto abort. Yes, it was an auto abort. You can say that. Hi Rocky Stone. Yes, don't worry. The SpaceX team, whenever it is on, I'll pull over that for you guys. So if you are new to this channel and you don't know what we do on this channel, we host live streams of every rocket launch that happens in the space industry, and not only rocket launches but the space events also. So, and we also have other spaceflight related videos too. So if you are that kind of guy who wants everything on just one spot, you are at a right spot, and you can consider subscribing and give this trip a like, and share this with your with your friends, family, and all, and supporting channel. If you want to support the channel, Patreon link is down in the description, and for one-time funding, super chat is always enabled. It really helps the channel to keep going and moving forward. So hi Peaceful Warrior, just discovered this channel, love it. Thank you so much, Peaceful Warrior. That really helps and means a lot. Okay, yes, everyone is welcome here. You can talk, and I can answer all your questions. You can just ask me questions, and I would love for you guys to answer. I love to answer those things. Yes, that's why we are here, to hopefully give you some perspective of what is going on. Thanks, Prathamesh. That really helps. I'm actually want to have this of space flight awareness everywhere in the world, because I actually believe that the space is not related and limited only to one country, one particular region, or one agency. It is a global thing and should be viewed as global. So I am on a mission on that. I like, once my channel grows a bit and I get proper funding and get some support from you guys, hopefully the China launches, the launches which we don't get to see at all because the official live streams does not have that. I'll try to do that somehow. I don't know how I'll do that. I don't have anything planned yet, but the longer vision is that only, to provide each and every launch to you guys, each and every. That's what the vision, you can say. What fuel and oxidizer it being used? The methalox is the thing, the methane and the liquid oxygen they are using. Augustine says the rocket looks like a big, okay. It is a pointy end up right now and the flaming head down. That's what everyday astronaut says. That's what we want, and yeah, we are right now, everything is looking good. Hi Giorgio, how are you? It's like 2 a.m. here, and let's hope everything goes correctly. Do we have any update? Nah. But propellant loading has started, which I can see here, and I'll should be doing that also. Just a bit. Do we have anything else? Guys, do tell me when SpaceX comes live. Do please inform me to have that stream for you guys here. So yeah. Yeah, cover the yes, yes. Perseverance landing. Yes, I will do that. Don't worry. On this thing, on this channel, we cover every space event. So even the China's Chang'e 5 sample return is being happening, which will be happening at around December 15 from the moon. I'll cover that also. So yes, what is the weight difference between the stainless steel and the previously used material? Okay, so the thing is, for this thing, at the starting of the Starship development, the actual management and the engineers were using carbon fibers to make this rocket, because that is lighter and yeah, that was their plan. But then they switch over to the stainless steel, because first of all, the stainless steel, they said, is easier to manufacture, is less in cost, as well as handles the cryogenic temperatures, as well as the re-entry effects more preferably and more accurately, and more, you can say, um, perfectly. Yes, that's the thing. So that's why they switch over to the stainless steel rather than the carbon fiber. So yeah, that was the thing. So the weight difference is, the carbon fiber is a bit less weight. The stainless steel is obviously more has more weight. That's why the penalty, the weight penalty, or you can say, yeah, the dry mass which it is having, it is pretty large because of the stainless steel. But they can accommodate that. They have a large thrust to weight ratio engine. Gopinath says, when they plan to launch this prototype rocket. The whole prototype rocket is not yet, I mean, the super heavy is still in development, and right now this is the upper stage, which you will be seeing today, and yeah, Starship upper stage. Simon says, could you please explain what this rocket is about to do and its mission, please? Okay, so this rocket will be going to an altitude of 12.5 kilometer today, and this rocket is a Starship developed by SpaceX, and it will be going to 12.5 kilometer altitude today to and it will be its first ever test flight, and this will be a hop in which it will be testing its engine, its flight parameters, and the most important, the belly flop maneuver landing, which they will be doing. And yeah, that's what they are trying to do for this thing. Any plans for collaboration with the Prathamesh says everyday astronaut and Garib scientist? See, everyday astronaut and Garib scientist, if I get a chance, I would love to collaborate with them, because the only thing is, once I get some at some point in my YouTube channel, then obviously I would love to collaborate with them one day, and yeah, make this spaceflight community more awesome. गरीब साइंटिस्ट से तो मतलब करनी ही है, कुछ हो जाए. Airlink space is here. The 9 minutes we are there. The rocket is either going to launch or abort. It's going to launch. Don't worry. Yes, it has an abort system. Okay, so no, the thing is, Airlink space, it can crash during if something goes wrong during its flight when it is above the air, above in the air, then those thing this auto abort, that auto abort or self destruction can happen. But when it is landing, then I don't think so self destruction will help. So it will just, if there is something goes wrong during the landing part, it will just hit the landing zone, and we will have a rapid and scheduled disassembly. Hi Giorgio. So yes, we have now the three part venting from the Starship, which means the propellant loading is going on at a very good pace. And yes, we are very well on for the flight for today's mission. You have a private Discord. So yes, I am trying to do a Discord channel also, so that we all can contribute. I'm in the process of making that, and once I'll do that, I'll have that for you. Yes, it is happening. It is happening. We are seeing a good venting from the rocket itself, and that means the Raptor chill is also going on. And let's hope this thing is a success. That's what I have to say. We are around 5 minutes. That's from the launch, but I think so it will take more time. Let me just update the time. I think so it will take some time. So let's just do that. Okay, we are good. If you want to support the channel, you can always do that. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, you can ask me now, because we don't have much time left, and then we will be actually seeing this thing live. Yes, SpaceX will be live in 5 minutes, and I'll have that pullover for you. The whole maneuver, it won't last for much time. The exact timing is not known yet, because the timeline hasn't been released by SpaceX, but there are speculations, and it won't be like a bigger flight, for maybe 5 to 6 minutes. That's the thing. Yes, Manat Singh, I was a science student. Don't worry about that. And I love science and technology. It is venting heavily now. The propellant is being loaded. That's why it is being venting heavily now. High 2K range. So this is it. Finally, this is happening. And let's hope we do have this thing lift off today, and we can have a treat to watch today. SpaceX should be live now in 2 to 3 minutes. Wow, man, it's venting heavily. The propellant is loading now. The flaps are extended. Everything looks cool. Do we have any official notification? Uh, what? There's the NASA airplane which was to come today. It is not happening. It says the pilot says that it is down and no flight today. Does that mean we won't be having the liftoff today? The NASA plane is not heading towards. SpaceX is live. Okay, okay. I'm over to that now. We are T minus 6 minutes. Okay, pulling over to that. Just a sec here. Here we go. Let me adjust the timings here. Okay, right now the view which you are seeing is the camera which is beneath the rocket itself, and let's hope this is so cool, man. Oh, I must adjust the timing.
T minus 5 minutes.
Guys, this is happening. There is audio. Okay, I'll increase the audio, don't worry. I'm not muted. Can you hear me, guys? Okay, okay, fine. It is happening. So excited. I'm so excited for this thing. We are T minus 4 minutes until this launch. I don't know whether this flight simulator will work. The telemetry which you are right now seeing is a simulated one. Let's hope it works. And yes, thank you so much, everyone. We have a nice views here. This is a first time they have this close-up view of the Raptor engine. They did had many close-up views, but when it is venting and the fuel is loading, we didn't had this thing here. Wow, it's happening. So excited. I'm really very much excited for this thing now. It's happening, it's happening, it's happening. Oh man, the views are looking so good. I mean, wow. If you are new to this channel, you can just hit the subscribe button if you like what I do. This is what I do, covering all the beautiful launches and everything, and you can always support the channel by becoming a Patreon. So, and one-time fundings are also appreciated. Super chat.
Hold on countdown.
Uh, array, no. We have an hold. And it's detanking now. No! The good thing is that it is still standing here. We have a hold and now it is detanking. Okay. It's a hold, guys. It's a hold here. We have a hold just at T minus 2 minutes and 6 seconds. And I mean, now it is detanking. No, it's not like it's a scrub or something. It's just a hold, and they can if they can figure out what went wrong or why did they hold. So we can't say it's a scrub right now, but yeah, there is something which has happened and they need to figure out that as soon as possible. Let's hope we get some updates. Let me see if we are. I'll update you guys. Let me just find some updates for you. They do have the time now. The launch window is still on. They have time till around 1 hour is still left for their launch window, around 1 hour, so no worries with that. Let's see what we get now. Do we get any official updates? No, not till yet. Nothing yet. Why do we had a hold? We don't know. Okay, so guys, you can ask me if you have any questions, and if you don't know what is going on, you can surely ask me. What's the difference between the hold and the scrub? Scrub just means that they are not attempting to launch this thing today, but hold just means if they have any problems or any issue with this rocket, can they recycle it, and can they yes, if the recycling time is there and can they ensure that everything is going good, then they can recycle and fly this thing. Yes, it's a hold, guys, it's a hold. Yes, Ken, actually, the guy who was supposed to fly that plane, he just tweeted that he's not going in for a flight today. so you won't be expecting, you should not expect now to have that NASA jet flying over your head now, because that won't be happening. So detanking happened, and now again it is so here we have the clock paused and standing by for a new T minus 0. So let's hope we can see this thing frosting. That means the propellant is loading, I suppose. Again, the time stopped because there was a call from mission control of hold, and that's why they hold it. But let's hope we get to see this flying flash. See the beauty right now. See this beauty, man. See this thing. I mean, can you just see the cross section of Raptor engines and the close up of the Raptor engines, ready to kick in the fuel and fly. It's not about airling, just a clock post and waiting for recycling, and let's hope everything goes right. The tip is frosting, is it? If it is, that means they are going in for a propellant loading. It's not a scrub for sure. It's just a pause on the clock. Anything from the SpaceX Twitter? No, we didn't had anything from the Twitter. We didn't have any official confirmation yet. That's what we are waiting for, guys. But
We'll see offer 2.
what was the call out for? Okay, is it they had a hold? I mean, that could be one of the reason. If there was a hold because of some flight, that means we can expect this thing to fly, man. Exactly. Hi, Airlink Space. Shout out to you. I mean, let me just confirm anything else if we have. Stupid plane. Yes, because we can see this thing frosting. You can see that, right? That means the propellant loading is going on. But the weather is so good and the view itself is so good. I mean, the sun, the glaring, the starship glaring at this position. I mean, wow, simply wow. Just enjoy the views right now and you will be so delighted to see this thing only. um let me have a look at if there we have any other thing. Okay, yes, yes. People are saying that there was a small plane which was getting close on the radar before making a turn, and but no, nothing is sure right now. But yes, that could be some potential range violator. That's why we had a hold here, and if that's the reason, then we can very well expect this thing to fly for sure. Guys, just let's keep this stream interactive, and so you can ask me if you have questions. And support me if you can. That really, really, really helps the channel to keep this thing on. Okay, okay, okay. I'm back now. So, but there was an aircraft in the area, but not confirmed. Yes, that could be one of the reason. It take 1 hour to rechill the fuel. I mean, yes, that could be one thing that it takes some times to rechill the fuel, but we can see that it is there happening, and everything is happening right now. And the latest update is and the NASA just recently announced their updates about their Artemis program, and I just missed it because of this thing. I'll surely be posting something about it on the channel, so don't worry, and you will be updated about it. Damn, SpaceX does have good cameras everywhere. What's my internet speed here? Roger, actually thing is for streaming, live streaming, I really need a faster internet. And yeah, the speed comes at around 125 megabits per second, not bytes, megabits per second. That's what we have. Yes, yes. So, uh, I mean, don't worry about the internet connection issue or something like that. Hopefully, that doesn't arise. I have had that thing fixed. So, yeah, let's hope everything goes smoothly. Only problem which can happen is with my uh, streaming setup, which is nothing right now. It's a very low budget. So, that's the only thing which can happen. Jedediah Shield says, can you please launch the space airplane? Yes, this was a thing which was in news recently. I missed that thing. If you can elaborate on that, the space airplane. Actually, today only something was happening about that. I missed totally because I was concentrating on this thing. Monkeys silly do says how long between refueling and potential liftoff. So it takes around 1 hour to recycle, I think so. So if they have anything which they can figure it now, so you can expect from 1 hour 45 minutes to 1 hour since this thing can again fly. The tip is also venting. Maybe that can be a thing because from this view we can't see that, but tip has the header tank in it. Okay, so this rocket has two types of tank. One's obviously the fuel tanks, other is also a fuel tank, but the two tanks have a different role in it. First of all, a larger tank is there, and the other one is the header tank. So the larger tank stores the fuel for the flight, and the header tank stores the fuel for the landing. Okay, in Falcon 9 that's not the case. Whatever fuel it uses from actually that one fuel tank only. I mean, technically two, one of liquid oxygen and RP1, but that's what happens there. But in this Starship, we have two types of tanks, one the main tank and the other the header tank. Header tank is reserved for fuel. And why did they go for this thing? Because they have to have that intense maneuvers performed during the landing, and they don't want air bubbles to appear in the fuel, and because that could damage the engines, right? So that's why they have chosen the header tanks, which will not be used at all, and it will be fully pressurized so that no air bubbles arises due because of that intense motion which it does during the landing. So that's why they have two types of tanks in it, and that's why you can hopefully see that header tank also. But I for this flight I don't think so uh, they will be using the header tank or anything. I mean, since intense maneuvers will be performed for this flight also, but since this is a test flight and they are just testing out the equipment, they could be using helium for pressurizing the tanks. It could be like Falcon 9 only. Rogers says, are you streaming on other platforms as well? No, right now only YouTube. I actually thought of streaming on Twitch, but Twitch is like first of all, I am very unfamiliar with it, and the second thing is I don't think so people are there, or the space flight enthusiasts are there. I don't think so. So that's why at 4:40 CST now. Okay. So 4:40 CST, how much time is left? What is this 4:40 CST? Oh man. Wow. I mean, wow. So the potential liftoff time actually went at uh, that time only, the last day. The liftoff time was this only, around this only. Hi, Soli Dank. Hi, Soli Dank. Hi, I can't pronounce your name. I'm very bad at pronouncing names. Guys, do you want this ambient sound to be there, or do you want background music? What would you prefer? What would you prefer, guys? Just tell me and I'll have that for you. The ambient sound, okay, the right now the thing which is going on. Or music. Okay, cool then. Okay, Simon, no problem, no music then. Just enjoy the ambience then. Because it's now T minus 1 hour and 15 minutes and already it's 3 a.m. here. Yes, Manat Singh, that's what they do. I mean, the thing is, with US launches, the only problem is like that only. Here, we have to wake up, be awake at all times in the night. And for the tomorrow, we have this Delta for heavy launch finally happening, the NROL 44 mission, which was like scrubbed from October 31st, and like it was facing scrubs after scrubs after scrubs. Maybe GSC issue, engine issue, rocket issue, range issue, weather issue. It was like tons of issues which were happening with that rocket, and it is finally scheduled to launch tomorrow. And hopefully we can see that thing also fly. And also I have made a video about the Delta 4 heavy ignition sequence, which is a pretty good thing to watch, because when I was making that video, I actually learned a lot about engines, especially the Delta 4 heavy engines. And yeah, you can always have a look at that. Yes, Sean, we can see your text. Anything on? Let me just check. So yes, people are saying that the problem was with the aircraft only, that there was one private jet. Yes, the private jet which was uh, in the vicinity of the launch area. That's why this happened. Wow. I mean, it's not 100% fully correct, but the flight radar pictures and the website says something like that. But all are speculations only right now. Nothing is official. Yes, Rocky Stone or Rocky Stone or Rocky Stone, and the delta coverage will be short because it is a classified payload. More particularly, spy satellite which is going on to the space. So it will be like jettisoning of the boosters, the separation of the first stage, I think so, and after that they will just end the stream. But the main part why we witness this Delta 4 Heavy launch and why do we watch that launch is because of the Delta 4 Heavy fireball which happens during the launch, and that is so cool to watch. We can see some boats here, but those boats, don't worry, that's not in the flight path, so yeah. Because the rocket has to fly in the other direction, not this one. Can we roast marshmallows on that fireball? Well, you can roast yourself on that fireball. Marshmallows, obviously you can do that also. Means the fireball is massive that you, if you will go, then you will also get roasted there. Yes, yes, Blues Traveler. I mean, it is for small period of time, but yeah, at that you can get roasted. Yes.
Oh, so you have to.
a mission. No, I haven't done. Oh, is it Manat Singh? I don't know. If it is so, that would be so cool to see. Okay, so yes, it's if it is a mission about Neptune, I don't know about that thing. I'll surely do a research about that. To be launched on Starship. Well, Starship could be a potential candidate for that mission because Neptune is a planet which is very far away, and if they have to launch something to Neptune, they really need a tight launch window to happen, and that could take years to come. So Starship is a vehicle which has a so high payload capacity so that it can handle those deep space missions easily. So yeah, that could happen, and that can launch on this Starship. Oh, that is so cool. But if it is going to orbit Neptune, I mean, it will be needing a greater amount of braking to happen there. I mean, no, not exactly, not a greater amount of braking because if it is not having any gravity assist, like Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, which had a gravity assist of Jupiter, then I don't think so its velocity would be increasing so much that it would have no fuel to uh, have itself inserted into Neptune orbit. Oh, okay. That's some pretty good views we are getting right now. I mean, very less companies are there who actually shows this engines of them so closely, because seeing the engines people can imitate, and I mean they can't, obviously they can't imitate this thing, but Yeah, many companies and agencies try not to show their engines when they have such a powerful and a king of rocket engines having them. Now I will just I think I can just have this stream like this for some time. Now you can just listen the breathing of this thing, the starship breathing at the launch pad right now, and yeah, you can listen on to that. I'll be back in some time, or I'm here only, and if you have any questions you can ask me. I'm not going anywhere, but just muting myself. And it has started venting again. That's a good sign. The fueling is means commencing here. I'm never gone. I'm here monitoring everything. I'm just waiting for the time to for me to come back and talk with you guys again. Guys, are you noticing this thing? The sunset here? I mean, the sun was like behind the nose of the starship, and then it is just rotating, and now it got in backside of it, and now it will again emerge from the other side. So cool. Yes, Manat Singh, that's a plan which scientists are considering, but those hibernation pods, they need to be made first. All the concepts and all the ideas are like ideas only. Nothing is there in person and as a hardware actually. Yes, we can. Obviously, we can do that. We can make the artificial gravity. But The thing is, the problem with that is it requires a larger wheels at constant rotations to simulate that 9.8 meters per second which we have on Earth. So that infrastructure, how will it be made in space? Because that can't be launched. That's such a huge thing. That's the problem. We don't have a artificial station still now. Yes, I'm also very excited for this thing to launch. I mean, the views are so cool. And let's hope everything goes correctly and we can see this thing fly. We are right now experiencing that, Manakshi. The Starship eclipse is going on and it will be over in some time now. You can see the sun is behind the starship. Starship is like blocking its light and causing a eclipse. So cool. Yes, I know the SFS Pro man. Nice name. Okay, so I know SFS, I know KSP. I haven't played, I have played SFS, but I haven't played simple rockets too. So yeah, but mostly I play KSP. Yes, yes, I know. That that's a mobile version of KSP, you can say, but it's not. Obviously, it's not like that. But yeah, you can play it on mobile. Thanks for subscribing. Okay, let me have this thing fixed. Again, detanking. Now what happened? Again a hold, as you can see here, T minus 48, 16. Uh, okay, they resumed the countdown, but why are they detanking now? That's weird. So guys, we are T minus 30 minutes from the launch. Everything so far so good, and yes, let's hope this time this thing flies. And when I was monitoring the conversation in the chat, someone asked me about the spacesuits that SpaceX provides. Yes, the spacesuits which SpaceX provides for the Crew Dragon actually are the IVA shoots, intravehicular activity shoots, not the EVA shoots, the extravehicular activity. Hence, those are only necessary when there is a depressurization in the capsule. So if there is any depressurization in the Crew Dragon, then those chutes can be pressurized, and everything means that those astronauts can survive. But they can't handle the radiation, the heat, and all those things coming from the sun. So if you expose them from to the vacuum of space, yes, they can survive the vacuum only, but not the radiations and the heat. Yes, elaborate. A lot of activities happening in the tank farm, which means you can say this condensation is being done there, or the flight. Everything is looking good. We have a beautiful weather there. I can just see this weather, and uh, this weather actually complements this Starship launch. I should say that those two things are so beautiful, the weather as well as this starship and the starships. Okay, so here's the thing, we have a star hopper, but star hopper's kid, you can say, is starship, because it was born afterwards, but it is a bigger version of that. So that's weird, right? Soda blast to the moon, get you some. Man, that's a very good idea for branding. I mean, if they can provide something like Starship bottles, Starship cans, or something like that. SpaceX does have a shop, website shop, you can say store there on their website, and they can for sure have something like that for their PR campaign, because obviously they had this whiskey bottle for the Tesla. I suppose they sell one, and that was a pretty good hit. So they can do same for the Starship also. Guys, if you have any questions, you can ask me, and if you have just joined in and wondering what the hell is happening here, so we are right now waiting for this Starship rocket to lift off for a 12.5-kilometer flight. And in this 12.5-kilometer flight, various parameters for this rocket will be tested, including the engines, and the most difficult one, that is the belly flop landing maneuver. They will be testing that, and if they are able to do that successfully, then obviously you will be seeing this thing standing upright. But if anything happens which is not in their plan, then of course you can expect to see some flames there, and a very good sight, but in a wrong way. And if something happens to this SN8, they have SN9 already in the high bay, ready to roll out and begin its testing. So considering that they don't have a major effect on their launch site as well as the landing zone because of the explosion, if that happens, then the SN9 is already there, and the SN9 flight can take up within days to see whether that flies and that lands successfully. So Vermish says, today I want to say something, see something crazy, so I am here. Yes, this is something really very crazy done by SpaceX, and we all are here to witness this historic launch, which will be happening from the Boca Chica to the 12.5-kilometer altitude and then landing back with a belly flop maneuver. I'm so excited for that. Thanks for subscribing, Olivia. Really appreciate that. And guys, if you want to support the channel, we are always here. I do these kind of streams only and try to answer your questions. So you can considering supporting the channel. Hi, Daily Tech Business Computers. Wow, see this cam, which is so miles away, but then also will be capturing such a good sight. I mean, wow. We can see some boats here, but don't worry, that's okay because the flight path is in the opposite direction. Okay, so we are 18 minutes from the launch, and hi Louis Smith, hi Brawl Stars. So DD Tech Business Computer says you have good presentation skill. How do you manage all the sources and then amalgamate them all in such a viewable format? I mean, the thing is, thank you so much for your compliment. First of all, the thing is, uh, I'm a very much spaceflight enthusiast fan, and I really want people to know what is happening in the space industry. Okay, and that's what I do, and what is happening in the space industry, what is about to come, everything. So this is what I do, and this is my passion, you can say. That's why I can be awake for a space flight event for whole night, or I can wake up early in the morning, because I really hate waking up early in the morning, but for seeing any launch or something like that, I do that. So yeah, that's the thing. SpaceX has been waiting for Louis Smith. Yes, she wasn't there, and now she has come, and now they actually had a scrub, not a scrub, but a hold at just at T minus 2 minutes because of some issue with the boat or a plane, and then they had to recycle the Starship, and now we are here again. The faster the Starship works, the faster we'll see the Super Heavy in action. Yes, Vermish, that's the thing. The Starship, after this Starship is successful, the Super Heavy will be in its development. I think this why Elon Musk actually chose Starship to develop first and then the Super Heavy could be because the actual mechanism of the flight and everything is complex for this thing, the Starship. The Super Heavy is more like the Falcon 9 only, and the landing mechanism and everything is more like that. So that's why he thought that it could be easier to manufacture and easier to deal with. But the Starship, the upper stage, is a different category altogether. So that's why let's just go with that now. We are T minus 15 minutes from the launch. uh, okay, got grapes, I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for that. Sometimes I mess up because this is obviously not my mother tongue. This is the secondary language, and that's why sometimes things go
T
wrong.
minus 15 minutes.
Here we have the call out from the mission control center. It's happening, guys. We waited for so long, and now it is finally happening here. We are just T minus 15 minutes from the launch, and let's hope everything goes correctly. Yes, indeed. That's the thing. And now we have this awesome sun coming out of the eclipse of the Starship, and finally, let's hope, my fingers are crossed, we see this thing fly, waiting for everything to come up now. Guys, if you have any questions, you can surely ask me. We are very near for this thing to fly, and if you don't know anything about it or some anything you wanna ask, you can surely do that, and I'll try to answer them. Man, the time is coming and getting slowly till we are getting near to the countdown at t minus 0. It's okay. It is 0032 in South Africa, Cape Town. So in here it's 4:03 a.m. right now, and that's why the thing is, my voice or energy is a bit low today. I'm excited for this, but just because of the timing. Yes, it is a difficult task, and now we can see the huge venting coming out of the SN8 prototype. That means fueling is underway on this thing. We are very well go for this launch. Everything is looking good. The weather is looking good. Let's hope, fingers crossed, this thing flies correctly. And we see this thing fully successful. That I don't want to see any rud or anything like that. Maybe the mission objectives are not fulfilled. It's not 100% success, but I really want this thing to be first of all to fly and then land back successfully. They obviously have this experience of landing the rockets, but for this one, uh, this is totally different. For landing Starship, it is totally different. It is like the any heritage from landing Falcon 9. Will it help Starship? I won't say. I would say no, because
T minus 10 minutes.
we are t minus 10 minutes now, because the maneuver which it performs to land is a very different one. And that's why although they can be like how much throttling is to be done to land it properly, that may be heritage from this Falcon 9, but the thing is, it's a totally different thing. Yes, we have lost so much sleep, and I mean, it will be worth it if this thing launches today. It will be worth it. Don't worry about that. I'm sure, and I'm pretty sure about it. T minus 9 minutes and counting, guys. It's happening. We waited for so long for this thing to go, and now it is happening. High space ghost. Cool check, Daniel says. Yep. That's a try venting which you are right now seeing. This is a try vent. Uh, yeah, the try vent you are seeing. It's not a single vent. The venting is not from a single place. It's from 3 places. Okay, looking good now. We actually saw the transition of the sun from the left hand side to the right hand side. That was so cool, and in between there was a star.
Copy. Maritime zone is clear at this time.
Oh, so it is clear now, guys. The mission control mentioned that the maritime zone is cleared now. I mean, for now. So that means it could be the reason of scrubbing, not scrubbing, but holding the launch at T minus 2 minutes previously. Everything is nominal, as they say that. Yes, maritime. The boats you can say it's not related to the rockets, but the boats were there in the range. I mean, the area which is hazardous for this rocket, not for this rocket, but the people or the area which is hazardous, which means if anything happens, anything goes wrong during the flight, the pieces can go where the pieces can go, or yeah, so to be safe we need the range to be clear. That's what a range is, a trajectory or the area which a rocket can cover in its in one piece or several pieces. Okay, Roger, that's what he mentioned right now. Yes, Louis Smith, it is going well, but let's hope I get this thing and we improve it a lot now, because I've been researching about microphones for a lot of time now, and I know what to get, but just the funding is the thing. So we are T minus 5 minutes and
T minus 5
counting.
minutes.
Here we go, guys. Oh man, happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. Wow. The venting is becoming insane now. Go SN8. What are those small particles falling and floating around the engine? Condensation or dirt or something? It's the condensation of the cold gaseous thing, because actually the thing is the frost also goes around the rocket where the propellant is loading, because that's in the cryogenic temperature. So sometimes what happens, those ice just falls off, and that's what you see. Hi Michael, hi Gary, and let's hope it goes correctly. They had some problem with the countdown or what? Are they having a problem with the feed?
T-minus 2 minutes.
T-minus 2 minutes and going. We are 1 minute and 50 seconds, guys. This is happening. I'm so much excited. Yes, it is a SpaceX team. It's a bit glitchy from the SpaceX end only, so yeah, don't worry. So much excited now. I'm so much excited. T-minus 1 minute and 27 seconds.
T-minus 1 minute.
T-minus 1 minute. It's happening. Oh my god. I can't actually believe what am I going to see. Wow. I'm like right now sweating actually. I'm so much excited for this thing.
T-minus 30.
T-minus 30 seconds. Just seconds away for this thing to lift off. T-minus 20 seconds. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11,
Go for flight.
10,
T-minus 10.
9, 8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
ignition,
0.
and
Yeah,
liftoff
liftoff.
of this Starship rocket to 12.5 kilometers. Wow! See this beauty fly.
All teams triage alarms.
Just see this thing, oh my god. I really can't believe my eyes. See those Raptors firing the onboard camera view, the ground camera, and this is the tracking camera. Going straight up. Let's hope everything goes correctly. I'm so much excited for this now. Wow. Wow. This thing is actually flying, guys. Wow. It is just going for a 12.5 kilometer hop modern home designs. And here we have the 12.5 kilometer, but the engines are still running. I mean, that was not supposed to happen. Oh, we got a engine shutdown here. We got an engine shutdown, and there's something going on here. Something going on here. Guys, I elaborate. I'll get back to you, but I just want to witness. We can see this thing, guys. We already had the shutdown of the engine, and I don't know why the engine is still firing. It was supposed to be a 12.5 kilometer hop, and it should have been falling right now, but it is not. Like, have they changed their plans or what? There was some fire and but let's hope this thing lands correctly. Is the altitude decreasing? No, it's going up. Don't go with the telemetry which I have. That's just a simulation. And what is this thing trying to achieve? Is it now? I think, okay, third engine out, one engine is running. Just one engine is running, and now it is getting a bit, now it is going down, and now no, it is not looking good. Fingers crossed. Wow, man. It should have landed till now. You can see the simulated territory here. Here we go. But now it is like going something. But seeing this thing also, I'm not sad or something like that. They must have learned something about it. I mean, how do they go about? But I seriously don't know why it is still, the engines are still on. Two engines are already out, and how will this manage? The single engine will manage now. Here we go, the flop maneuver. Is it the flop maneuver? I think it is. It is now getting belly first. Wow. Oh man, see this thing just going like, oh, see the views also, the clouds and all. I think they have actually increased, changed their plans. It was not a 12.5 kilometer flight for sure. But now it is falling back. It will raise, not falling, it will raise to the apogee first and then it will fall back. Right now it's just maneuvering with the airs and everything. See this beautiful flight. This is looking so beautiful. I mean, I can really admire this view for so much time to come. Wow. Yes, see the stability, man. This is so stable right now. I mean, the maneuvers which it performed, I can't believe my eyes. It looks like I am seeing the animation. Wow, man, wow. Now I think it will come down. Is it coming down now? I think, yeah, it is coming down. But the engines, I mean, was it the plan or what? Let's hope. Let's now see what will happen. Fingers crossed for the belly flop maneuver. Now this is where the things can go really very wrong. Okay, so 3 engines fired, belly flop there. The engines didn't actually go. Oh, wow, oh man, and oh. The good thing is they have learned something from this flight. And the best thing is we got the views of this thing flying actually, and I'm so much impressed by this thing. And hats off to Elon Musk that they really broadcasted it. I'm actually yes, so delighted to watch this thing. I'm whether they
Rolling to anomaly net, opening 3.911 at this time.
Incredible work, team. Nice work.
but it was not. See guys, let me just tell you, yes, it flew very nicely, and also the belly flop maneuver which it did was also very perfect. Only thing is it was like, yeah, a bit fast when it hit the ground, and the engines also had some problem with the gimbling and everything. Awesome test. Congrats Starship team. I'm so happy we witnessed this thing actually, and we actually saw this thing fly. Wow, I mean, hats off to them. It was really worth waiting for, and um, I mean, I'm not sad. I must say that I'm not sad. They must have learned a huge amount of data from this flight, and SN9 is in the bay, ready to witness again and ready to fly again. And from the explosion also we could see the rapid unscheduled disk assembly. We could see that not of any most of the landing infrastructure is still intact. That means they don't have to do much of the repairs, and we will be able to see this thing. Here we have, so from the debris, can we make something out of that? I mean, it exploded, that's a thing, but did it implode it or exploded? We will have to see that in a bit. I mean, uh, the landing infrastructure is looking good. That means it's just a cleanup. So if it's just a cleanup, the SN9 is there to have everything good. But I really wonder why those two engines got uh, shut down in the flight, was shut down, and then in the when it was to perform a belly flop maneuver, it actually those three engines ignited, and yeah, everything was so good. SN9 up next, as they say. We will witness, we will recap it, and we will see it again guys, so don't worry. And we will try to analyze the clips. That was a very thing, I mean, wow. The belly flop for the first time, and then it was like going in so perfectly. Okay, okay. SpaceX, hats off to you. And don't worry about anything. You did a great job today. And yeah, do we have anything? Let's just see what actually happened there. See this flight and see what actually happened. So here so where the thing started going wrong. Let's see from there. First of all, the thing first, okay, so the thing which I noticed first was obviously that engine shutdown. Maybe because of that engine shutdown it went on for a longer time, because those two engines were compensating for the engine shutdown. But from the maneuver which it did, I mean, when the trajectory it followed, it didn't look like it was going till to 12.5 kilometer. Let's hope it did. So here we have, and
Spacecraft is go for flight.
5, 4, 3, 2.
do we have any problem during the ignition? Let's just slow it a bit. Slow this thing a bit.
One. 0. We have liftoff.
No, the liftoff happened as planned and nothing was wrong with it. This was good, but we can see the fires around the engines now only.
All teams triage alarms.
Okay, so first of all, this happened and then stop the timer. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, I'll do that. I'll stop the timer. Here it goes. It goes. Problems, but a test article is when you need things to go wrong. First of all, Labrat, thank you so much, so much for that $100 Canadian $100. Thank you so much, Labrat. You are so awesome. And yeah, we witnessed this thing and it was worth a wait. So now let's try to analyze this clip, and thank you so much, Labrat. This will really help the channel. Thank you so much. Okay, now we can go on for the flight. So right now everything is looking good. Let me just play it in the normal. So far so good. From the visuals it is looking good only. Engines also performing nominally now. Where it went wrong, let's have a look at that now. The vehicle is also looking very stable. Engines doing their task. Then there was a fire actually. Now the rolling, this is looking good. And here the things happened. Okay, so let's have a look at that. We just saw that there is some problem with the engine's maneuver gimbal. Here the things started getting wrong, I think so. Like it performed a intense maneuver for the gimbal, actually intense gimbal for some reason, and one engine was shut down. There was a total fire near the engine, and at that time we only had 2 engines flying, so one engine was not working or it just got shut down. This happened, and as you can see from this only that the 2 engines have already compensated, and now we can see this thing also getting. Okay, so the fire actually is happening here in this shiny part of it. I don't know what this thing is, but the fire is happening kinda here, and now also it is going good. Looking good. We the slow footage actually tries us to see what is happening. Here was some fire, and what connections are there. Maybe the landing gears connections and landing gear pneumatics are there. Maybe that caught fire, and then let's have this played normally and then see where when the things went wrong for the second time. Again the intense gimbling is kinda starting. I think the problem, I don't know, it's total speculation, but the gas which is coming out of it, is it, if that's the fuel which is leaking, means not leaking or bleeding, that could have caught fire. I don't know. Maybe that could be the reason. Two engines then performed perfectly for some time, and then here we go again, the gimbling, again the gimbling, again intense gimbling happened. What? Here we go, again the intense gimbling is happening, and there we had the engine shutdown of another. Okay, so gimbal, okay, let me just have this clear. When the engine needs to be shut down, gimbling is bound to happen because the other engines adjust when that engine gets shut down for the stoppage of that engine. So basically, whenever there is a shutdown of an engine, the other two engines will adjust, and hence there will be a intense gimbling of the engine. So that is a thing. So whenever you so that's not a problem. The intense gimbling is not a problem because that will happen. Obviously that will happen to adjust and cope up with the loss of other two engines. Okay, but why? And then the fire. Where is the fire? Here we again, the whenever the engine got shut down, there was for some fire which happened. Okay. Then though it worked perfectly, then the last engine also was. But if is for the did it had enough TWR for the last engine to propel this thing up in the sky? And again, okay. That's not a problem, I think so. But the thing which we see also, and which we saw also, was this thing, that this belly flop, and not this is not a belly flop, but this maneuver in which it had to go for a belly first, this was done perfectly. This actually happened perfectly, and it was so stable in the flight also. Engine failure, yes, Herschel, engine failure was there. The ship did a great job, just need to work on the Raptor. I think so. I think so. There was a problem with the Raptor as well as some pipings issue. I mean, the fire was inside near the landing legs deployment, where the landing legs happen, deployments happen, and I think the pneumatics there got itself in fire. This thing was perfect, I think. This was looking so stable also, and nothing as such was looking out of bounds. Flaps also worked perfectly fine because at last we saw the belly flop. Okay, so here now we can have a look at the belly flop in a slow motion. We got one engine starting up which was shut down in the flight, and that is happening now, which, and then those two engines starting up. Is the third? Yes, all the three engines are right now igniting, performing this maneuver, and during this maneuver we lost the engine, or what? We are losing the engine. Two engines are firing, or one engine is firing right now. From the onboard camera view, we can see that it aimed perfectly for the landing zone, and these green fuel, and then the fire. Actually, this greeny thing I think is an igniter, but Raptor does not need an igniter. That green thing is for Falcon 9. There must be some leak. Yes, there must be some leak at this point. That's why the flame went green here. There is no need of igniter in this Raptor. They use spark plug for ignition of the Raptor, and since the color of the flame changed, must be some other thing which leaked and got itself into fire. But at this point of time, only one engine was firing, and this one engine only was supposed to land this thing. Yes, at the first point, three engines was to do the task, and but at the landing time, the first engine, the one engine which is left, was to do the task. And then, okay, so what happened? Did the landing legs even deploy? No, they are right now. No. They didn't even deploy it. And the explosion happened just before that only. We can see that. Green is methane. Does the methane, I mean, is it? I have to check the flame color of the methane. I don't think so. Green is methane, but maybe if it is running fuel rich, then the color methane flame. It's a blue flame. Yeah, that's why we were getting. No, it's not a methane thing. This thing I really don't know what could be the explanation. The only explanation which I can think of right now is the that there was some leak which is causing this flame to turn green. And then we can see here the landing legs are not deployed. The explosion happened before that only. And this thing here is a bit ahead of this thing here, so we lost the feed already from here, and but we were getting the feed from the onboard camera, and then we lost the feed from there also. Okay, so after this thing, yes, one working at 0.5. Okay, see this view now. Something just went off from it. This thing which just flew, I don't know what this thing is. Is this the flap? Part of some flap, I think. It's just a part of some flap. And then the explosion, obviously. Yeah, here we can see, where we can see. Guys, did you notice? It was an implosion, not an explosion. see this thing, see this thing, see this thing. Did you see this nose cone just being crushed here? I was right, it was an implosion. That means there was some depressurization somewhere. What was this thing? Hmm. Okay, seeing the footage, I can see that first of all, the engine shut down in during the flight. I don't know whether it was planned or not. And then engines again reigniting. I think again reigniting. That means it was a plan to shut down those engines in the flight. I think they could be like testing those engines, and the problem was that the landing legs didn't deploy only, and we saw that. And those fire near the landing legs could be the explanation why didn't they deploy. And yeah. 33% was okay. So green flame, I don't know what's this with the green flame. Let me see if we have anything up from Elon. Here we, of course, we have see, this is the attitude of this leader. This is the attitude of this leader, man. Let me just have this for you, uh, pulled up for you only. Just wait a sec. This is what I like about this man. So see this thing. See this thing. Can you expect this tweet at this point of a time from any other person? And he tweeted this thing: Mars, here we come. Because he thinks that this thing is a success because they have learned a lot from this uh, flight today. I mean, hats off to Elon. Obviously deserves a like and a retweet also. Okay, so we have something here: successful ascent, switch over to header tanks, and precise flap control to landing point. Okay, fuel header tank pressure was low during the landing burn, causing touchdown velocity to be high and RUD. But we got all the data we needed. Congrats, Space Team. Hell yeah. Okay. Okay. Successful ascent was successful means those engine shutdown was in a plan. That is a bit weird because we didn't know about that. And then switch over to the header tanks and precise flap control to landing point. Okay, so that switch over to the header tank and those green flame which actually came from there, maybe that explains why it was green. The header tank switch over, maybe the pressurization of the header tank was done with some material, and that was, I don't know. Any other thing which he had? Nothing. Obviously looking for this thing. Slow mo will tell us so much about this thing. Yes, it's a win. Obviously, it's a win. It's a lots of success, and one failure can still lead to a crash. So, yeah, the thing which we thought. Uh, I don't know. The engine shutdown was like how it was planned in the flight. It was a bit surprising to see that. And then this thing. Okay, cool. It did transition out of blast, but was too late to stop. But you saw it lighting extra engines too late. Initial take was wrong. I mistook the green flash as another ignition. That's not what happened. One of the two engines started blowing green exhaust, which is not good. Oh, obviously Scott Manley has the explanation of why that green flame is there. If they, if they have used the main tanks and they have landed successfully, could be they could have landed. I mean, the problem with that only the header tanks had some low pressure, and that's why the thing happened. Ghanshyam Dagar says low fuel supply due to depressurized header tank. Lead says Elon Musk on Twitter. Yes. Where does he says this thing? Low fuel supply due to depressurized header tank. Okay. But the green flame, why green flame was happening was this thing. Now, obviously, Scott Manley had that explanation as another ignition. That's not what happened. One of the two engines started blowing green exhaust, which is not good. And the last engine, I think, yeah, the actually it had to land with only one engine being ignited, but the extra engines was ignited too late when it was not able to do it properly. But since then also this mission was, it didn't look like it was a failure, because first of all the belly flop also which it did, and it did a touchdown, then that also was like so cool. I mean, it was not like a falling to the earth like anything. It was not like that. It had a precise and controlled landing. Only thing was that the landing's velocity was very high. That's it. Yes, here we have the things. Okay. So yes, now the SN9 is the ahead. They just posted a new road closure. That's what you do. Blues Traveler, they actually got good amount of data from this thing. Jonathan Tucker, clean up on A late, hopefully. Thanks a lot. Gotta go catch some sleep. I usually get up at same time as the SS crew. Okay. You can go and sleep, and I'll also sleep. It's 5 a.m. and I've been awake whole night. But it was worth away. I mean, this was so delight to watch and everything. Maybe I'll post a video about this flight only on my channel, so you can also enjoy maybe a slowed down version and everything. So yeah, still I can't understand whether it was in the flight plan or not. And those fire which was happening, man. Okay, so in conclusion, I would like to say this thing only, that guys, no worries. This is a success. This is not a failure. This is a success, a total success, I believe. And the person who has this motive in his mind and this quote of his is famous, like everyone says the failure is not the option, but he says failure is the option. And this is not a failure. They have already have SN9 in the place, and they will make the changes which are required to make that thing fly again. And then hopefully this thing which happened today won't happen. And that's why he said the Mars, here we come. Wow. And thank you so much, Labrat, for that funding, $100 funding. Thank you so much. It will really help this channel, and I'll surely now purchase, I think, and but not I, but yeah, it will really help. So thank you so much, Labrat, for that. And thank you so much all the mods. You really managed the chat uh, so perfectly. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, so tomorrow we have Delta for heavy launch. We will meet for that. And yeah, we will be here for SN9 launch too. So until then, this is Priyanshu Royla signing off. You just saw Rocket Gyan. Stay safe, stay